What's up, guys? Magnetic Repellent here. Welcome to the video. Please come into the room, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. Hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm, so press that right now as you're coming in here. Also, share it to video, family, friends, and leave a comment. I love to address the comments that people leave regarding my videos. Today I'm going to talk about something that's been on my mind for a long time, for years actually, and that is why it's easier to beat a murder charge than it is to beat a traffic ticket. This is regarding the court system. It is easier, believe it or not, to beat a murder charge or any other criminal act. It's easier to do that than it is to beat a traffic ticket. We're going to get into that. I'll see you in 30.
You are now watching the Magnetic Repellent Show.
Do you know why it's easier to beat a murder charge than it is to prevail in traffic court, to actually beat a traffic ticket? It's a matter of economics. When you're paying traffic tickets to the court system, it funnels its way all the way through the judicial system, the court-appointed attorneys, the judges. They all get bonuses and raises, and when the city has to meet a specific budget for something, they always come after the residents. How can we milk more money from our citizens to get what we need done? And that's usually funneled through traffic court. Okay, and here's why it's easier to prevail. Before I even get into that, think about this. When you drive down the expressway, sometimes they're building bridges. You'll see the construction guys out there building bridges, and it takes years to build a bridge because typically bridges are built over water and stuff like that. And you'll see a sign that says, your tax dollars at work, right? So in other words, your tax dollars is building this bridge. Your tax dollars, our tax dollars, funding this bridge. But when the bridge is finished completion, you put a toll there and charge us to cross it. If my tax dollars built it, what are you charging me to cross it for? Okay, again, economics. What they'll say, well, the bridge still has to be maintained and it still has to be structured. We got to make sure guys are testing constantly to make sure the beams are there. Listen, my tax dollars can continue to pay for that the same way it paid for the bridge to be built. Why are you charging me toll? I want somebody to answer that question. Some politician, some state legislator to answer that question. If my tax dollars built the bridge, why are you charging me to cross it with a toll? The same way my tax dollars built it, the same way my tax dollars can maintain its structure. Okay, but let's move on. Why it's easier to beat a murder charge or any criminal case? It's easier to beat that than it is to beat a traffic ticket. Well, first and foremost, with a murder case, any criminal case going on through the judicial system, you need hardcore physical evidence. You need eyewitness testimony. You need police records. You need great representation. It's a whole lot that goes into that, okay? Because you need evidence. You need DNA, fingerprints, footprints, eyewitness testimony, cameras that seen the person do such and such, whatever. If you don't have those things, whether the person did it or not, they can prevail. If their lawyer is good enough, okay, they will prevail. And another reason why it comes down to economics is because a lot of times people who didn't do anything, or they didn't do it, but they're getting accused of it or charged with it, it's easier for them to plead and get out on their own recognizance, or maybe do a year or 6 months, but it's easier for them to plea bargain than go to court. They punish you for going to court. The reason why they punish you for going to court, for fighting the case, for fighting for your rights, is because it takes more time, more resources, more money. It takes money. So it's actually cheaper for you to plead out, even when you didn't do it. Because chances are, if you didn't do it, and they believe you did it, okay, unless your lawyer is great, when you fight the case, you can end up in jail, okay? So it's a 50-50 proposition, okay? So, but that's the thing about criminal cases, murder charges, things like that. This is how you can beat that, because it takes evidence. If you don't have evidence, eyewitness testimony, all this kind of stuff, if you don't have that, it's very difficult to prevail. A murderer will walk free. A burglar will walk free, because you need evidence. Okay? Now, the reason why it's more difficult for someone to prevail in traffic court is because, well, first of all, in criminal court, you have a presumption of innocence. That's number one. You have a presumption of innocence. You're innocent until proven guilty. Okay, that's the main thing. So if you are guilty in a criminal case and you got a good lawyer, all he has to do is convince a jury to give them some doubt, some reasonable doubt why you didn't do it. Okay? 12 people, reasonable doubt, and you'll walk the fuck out of there whether you did it or not. Okay? So it's the presumption of innocence. In traffic court, it's opposite. You're guilty when you walk in the fucking door, and you have to prove yourself to be innocent. How do you prove yourself to be innocent in traffic court? It's damn near impossible, because everything is predicated upon what the police says he saw. And the judge is going to strictly go off what the police officer says. Their word is law. Whether they're lying or not, we know they lie like a motherfucker, but whether they're lying or not, it doesn't matter. The judge is going to believe the police officer because they're representatives of the law, and they're supposed to be honest and just and fair and all that bullshit that we believe. Okay? But that's not really the case. The only way to prevail in traffic court is, one, the cop that wrote the ticket don't show up. Okay, so you'll prevail. Or he fucked up the ticket, writing the ticket. His details are all wrong, is all fucked up or whatever. Okay, you'll prevail. Those are the two top reasons why you'll prevail in traffic court. Only two, really, in my opinion. Okay, but the judge is going to believe whatever that police officer says. And they'll put on a dog and pony show, and they'll have you stand there as if you really have rights, and if you really have a defense, and you can go to the spot of the infraction where the infraction took place and take pictures of the signs and how the tree was blocking the stop sign, and they don't give a fuck. They know this goes on, just like they know a cop will lie. But because the economics of the city and the state is funneled through traffic court for a large part, they need that money, and they come after the citizens all the time. All the time. You see cops parked on the side of the street all times of the night, tucked in corners, behind bushes in their cars, or what, sits places with their lights out, and all this, waiting for somebody to go by to stop them for a traffic violation, whether you did it or not. They're told in roll call, bring your ass in here with a certain amount of tickets. You want a fucking Christmas bonus? You want a raise? Bring your ass in here with a certain amount of tickets. We all know that they have quotas that they have to meet. They'll deny that till they blue in the face. And a lot of cops, after they retire and they go off and live their best life afterwards and shit, they'll admit to the fact that they had quotas. We know that. So they have to go out there. They're required to write a certain amount of tickets. And not only are the police doing it, the marked cars are doing it, the unmarked cars are doing it, the ticket agents walking up and down the street, we call them meter maids, used to call them meter maids years ago, they're doing it. Everybody's writing fucking tickets. But the world is getting no safer. With all these cops around, the world is getting no safer. But they're Johnny on the spot to write a damn ticket. Okay? So those are the biggest differences in why it's easier to prevail in a criminal court to beat a murder charge than it is to beat a traffic ticket. Okay? And in the comments, if you're a police officer, you're a judge or whatever, leave a comment. Tell me what the deal is. Okay? If I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to say I'm wrong. But I'm going to tell you, the average citizen, the average everyday working Joe, do not, particularly in these days and times, black, white, Latino, Asian, it doesn't even matter. No one trusts the government because your deeds, your history of wretchedness have caught up with you. No one trusts you. Nobody. So, because you're human beings. And human beings at our very best are fallible. The government is run by human beings. The judicial system run by human beings. A judge is human. Police officers are human. Lawyers are human. Everybody, we're all human. So we're subject to the same human fallacies, whether it's bigotry, racism, hatred, whatever it is. Whatever your upbringing is, forget about the oath that you took. Your upbringing will override your oath. Because in order for you to take that oath and mean it, that means you have to say, well, great grandpa, well, he was wrong. Grandma, she said that about them other people. She was wrong because I have to be unbiased in my job. Or what? Bruh. People don't forget how they were raised. They carry that. They carry that through their jobs, their professions, their relationships. They carry that stuff. This is how I was raised. You have to make a concerted effort to look at your upbringing, how you were raised, and make changes. Choose to be different. Insist to be different. Do the work on yourself, mentally, historically. Then you can say to yourself, I can be totally unbiased in my job, in my profession, so forth. I hope this video helped you guys understand some things about the legal system. And leave comments, like I said. I always enjoy the comments. Share this video. And this is not, to be insulting or disrespectful to our law enforcement professionals. I'm pretty sure there's them good judges and good cops and good lawyers out there. I've met many, okay? But I've also met some bad ones. And as they say, one bad apple. And that's in any profession, okay? Anyway, I'm Magnetic Repellent. Love you guys. Peace.